Before we deconstruct the profound systematic inefficiency of a traditional job search and the exact architectural blueprint required to build a Python-driven autonomous agent that treats your career like a high-frequency trading, I have exactly 3 critical questions for you to answer in the comments below. Number 1. Are you currently wasting your peak cognitive hours refreshing public LinkedIn portal, completely unaware that those systems are algorithmically designed to filter you out and commoditize your value? Number 2. Do you understand the massive structural difference between a manual uploading a PDF to a saturated corporate portal and deploying a multi-agent Python architecture to infiltrate the unindexed directories from a human recruiter even sees the listing? Number 3. When the global market shifts to an AI on AI evaluation, do you possess the technical sovereignty to build your own algorithmic advocate? Or are you still relying on the old rules of a game that has already been rewritten? Let me know your answers. For those who are new to the channel, I'm Dr. HR. I approach the global labor and capital market not with emotional comforting advice but as a cold structural algorithmic system. I hold a PhD in human resources, a master's from prestigious Tata Institute of Social Sciences, TISS in Mumbai, and a bachelor's in computer engineering. Operating on the ground here in Dubai since 2010, consulting for Tier 1 corporate entities, sovereign wealth funds, and apex tech founders across the Middle East and India, I monitor exactly how global talent acquires maximum leverage. The job market is not broken. You are simply playing by the old rules while artificial intelligence has already rewritten the game. Stop wasting your life refreshing public jobs portal. In 2026, applying manually is essentially professional suicide. We are building an autonomous Python agent that treats the job market like a high-frequency trading, infiltrating the hidden networks to secure offers at scale. Before I completely dismantle the illusion of public job boards, expose the exact mechanics of how to scrape the hidden corporate market, and give you 3 live executable prompts to build your own systematic outreach bot today, hit the subscribe button and press the notification bell. I post daily videos showing you exactly how to navigate the global labor and capital market using clear, uncompromising engineering logic. You do not want to miss these execution protocols. Stop waiting for permissions. Start engineering your infiltration. Grab a notebook, it is time to automate your professional dominance. Phase 1. The Contrarian Disruptor, the end of a manual submission. We must first diagnose the exact debilitating technological trap that has paralyzed the global white-collar workforce. For the last 2 decades, the standard protocol for career advancement was linear and manual. You polished a static resume, logged onto a public aggregator like LinkedIn or Indeed, searched for a job title and clicked apply. You trusted that a human being on the other side would carefully read your document, recognize your unique biological value, and grant you an interview. In June 2026, that entire pipeline is an operational graveyard. The widespread democratization of large language models have triggered a massive application saturation. When a Tier 1 tech conglomerate or a sovereign wealth fund post a high leverage role on a public board, the applicant tracking systems, the ATS, receives thousands of AI-generated, perfectly formatted application within first 10 minutes. Because of this synthetic bloat, the public job board has become the commodity market. If you apply manually, you are placing yourself at an absolute back of line consisting of 10,000 synthetic clones. The corporate screening algorithms are designed to protect the hiring manager's time by aggressively filtering out 99% of these submissions using semantic threshold. Applying manually is professional suicide because human speed cannot compete with algorithmic skill. You must execute a contrarian pivot. You must transition from search and hope methodology to an algorithmic takeover. We are engineering a systemic outreach bot that bypasses the public saturation entirely. By treating the job market like a high-frequency trading, you act on informations in milliseconds after it hits the corporate server, before it is ever syndicated to the public saturated channels. Phase 2. The secret weapons. reveal Infiltrating the Hidden Market. What if you could bypass every gatekeeper and algorithmic standing between you and your dream role? To achieve this, we must target the hidden market consisted of unlisted opportunities, internal corporate ATS subdomains like direct greenhouse or lever API, and stealth projects that are quietly funded but never publicly advertised. You cannot find these roles by scrolling. You must engineer a specialized autonomous agent designed to scrap the deep web and execute outreach at scale. This is not just a job search, it is a strategic takeover of a hidden market. To build this secret weapon, we utilize open source frameworks that dominate the 2026 developer ecosystem, such as CrewAI integrated with Python. CrewAI allows us to move beyond a simple single prompt chatbot and build a multi-agent system. Instead of doing the work yourself, you define a crew of autonomous workers, the scrapper agent. This agent utilizes Python libraries like Amplify or Playwright to continuously monitor target company's domain, unindexed career pages, and press release regarding new funding rounds. The evaluator agent. When the scrapper finds a hidden role, it passes the data to the evaluator. This agent cross-references the job requirement against your specific skills using a vector database, calculating a mathematical fit score. The drafter agent. If the fit score exceeds your defined threshold, example 85%, this agent dynamically generates a highly customized outreach payload, not a generic cover letter, but a structural teardown of a company's problem, and prepares it for immediate delivery. You wake up in the morning, open your terminal, and review a curated, deduplicated list of elite hidden opportunity that your agent has already processed, ranked, and drafted applications for while you slept. You have decoupled your career trajectory from your biological energy. Phase 3. The high-stakes tech narrative, AI on the AI warfare. We must shift your psychological framework to understand the current rules of engagement. You are no longer applying to a human being, you are engaging in AI on AI warfare. When you apply to a major enterprise today, your application is intercepted by their autonomous screening agent. If you send a traditional human-written PDF, you are speaking the wrong language. The enterprise systems operates on semantic vector embedding, looking for a deep structural logic, specific technical dependencies, and risk mitigation pattern. By deploying your own autonomous agent, you're sending a machine to negotiate with a machine. Your agent utilizes sentiment analysis on a target company's recent earnings calls, engineering blogs, and executive social media feeds. If the target company's CEO recently complained about cloud migration latency, your agent detects this sentiment. It then instructs the drafter agent to explicitly reframe your past project experience to highlight latency reduction by passing the standard HR keyword and speaking directly to the C-suite most urgent pain point. We are deploying automated infiltration to dominate high-value roles before the competition even wakes up. While amateur candidate is still trying to figure out which font to use on their resume, your Python agent has already passed a corporate vulnerability, scored your mathematical fit, and delivered a highly targeted architectural solution directly to the hiring manager digital perimeter. Phase 4. The 3 live autonomous prompt, your execution engine. To transition from theory to active deployment, you must build the system. I have engineered 3 specific live prompt architecture that you can deploy today using a framework like Claude Code, Cursor, or a local Python script running CrewAI. I want you to screen record these prompts, save them. These are the exact commands that will operationalize your autonomous career agent. Live prompt 1, the Deep-Scrape Directive. This prompt is designed to bypass the public job boards and target unindexed corporate directories directly. It triggers your scraper agent. Agent role, deep web sourcing architect. Task, initiate a headless browser sessions using Python and Playwright. Do not use LinkedIn or Indeed. Search the direct careers and engineering subdomains such as boards like greenhouse.com or jobs.lever.co of top 50 Series B and Series C AI startups globally. Extract all roles containing the parameter AI architect, machine learning, or data infrastructure. Output the raw JSON data, includes the role ID, posting date, and direct application API endpoint. Deduplicate any listing older than 48 hours. Live prompt 2. The Semantic Fit-Scoring agent. Once you have hidden roles, you must avoid the trap of applying to everything. This prompt activates your evaluator agent to perform a strict mathematical triage. Agent role: Cognitive Fit Evaluator. Task: ingest the JSON payload of scrapped roles from previous step, cross-reference each job description against my verified biological data and GitHub repository summaries provided in my local vector database. Execute a semantic similarity analysis. Assign each role a fit score from 0 to 100 based on exact technical overlap and operational constraint. Immediately discard any role with a fit score below 88. For the remaining roles, generate a markdown table detailing the missing micro-credentials I need to bridge the gap. Live prompt 3, the outreach and infiltration draft. This is where you execute the takeover. This prompt bypasses generic HR applications and draft a high-leverage outreach payload intended for the decision maker. Agent role: Strategic Outreach Drafter. Task: for the top 3 roles identified with a fit score above 92, execute sentiment analysis on a hiring company's recent engineering blog and press releases. Identify their primary operational bottleneck. Draft a 150-word highly technical outreach payload addressed directly to their VP of engineering. Do not use generic cover letter language. Structure the payloads as a problem-solving teardown, proving how my specific architectural experience solves their exact bottleneck. Output the final text ready for dispatch. By executing these 3 prompts in sequence with an agentic loop, you transform your computer into an autonomous 24/7 career acquisition pipeline. Phase 5. Treating the market like a high-frequency trading. To truly master this architecture, we must borrow the core philosophy of algorithmic finance. High-frequency trading, the HFT. In financial market, the HFT firms do not win because they have better human intuition. They win because they have superior infrastructure that allows them to execute trades millisecond before the rest of the market realizes an event has occurred. The 2026 labor market operates on the exact same physics. When a highly lucrative, unautomatable sovereign architect role is opened internally at a sovereign wealth fund or a massive tech conglomerate, there is a very narrow window of time, often just 24 to 48 hours, before that role is either filtered by an insider referral or syndicated out to the public commodity board, where it is instantly buried in synthetic spam. Your Python agent is your HFT algorithm. You configure your agent to run on a continuous cron job or event-driven flow every morning at 3 a.m. By the time the hiring managers arrive at their desk at 8 a.m. and checks the newly opened requisition, your hyper-personalized sentiment-aligned outreach payload is already sitting on the top of their inbox. You're not competing against a 10,000 synthetic applicants because you executed the trade before they even permitted into the market. You are securing the interview through sheer infrastructural superiority. Phase 6. The regional execution grid, the India-UAE arbitrage. We must localize this synthetic disruption to the most hyper-accelerated economic theater on the planet, the UAE and India. This is where the manual application strategies are failing the fastest and where autonomous agents are yielding the most profound biological premium. The UAE D33 stealth market. The United Arab Emirates is operating under a massive velocity of a Dubai economic agenda, the D33. Capital is flowing aggressively into sovereign AI such as G42 and Core 42, autonomous physical logistics and Web3 infrastructure. Because of this velocity, the best roles in Dubai are almost never posted publicly. They are stealth initiatives. The executives leading these initiatives despise traditional recruitment agencies because they are too slow and fundamentally misunderstand the deep technical requirement. If you are an expatriate attempting to enter DIFC, the Dubai International Financial Center market, by applying on LinkedIn, you are invisible. You must deploy your Python agent to scrap the direct domains of a sovereign tech entities. You instruct your agent to monitor UAE corporate registries and local tech publication. When a new entity is formed or a joint venture is announced, your agent executes the outreach payload directly to a newly appointed managing director. You offer plug-and-play sovereignty before the company has even established an HR department. The Indian GCC volume collapse. In India, the structural problem is volume. The Global Capability Center, the GCCs in the Bangalore and Hyderabad, are transitioning from low-cost back office centers to Tier 1 global AI engineering hub. For every single staff engineer or system architect role posted, the Indian market generates an ocean of applications. The manual applicant is drowned instantly. The elite Indian professional must use the autonomous agent to execute signal optimization. You instruct your CrewAI setup to entirely ignore the massive public aggregator. Instead, your agent tracks the open source GitHub commits of an engineering lead, those target GCCs. Your drafter agent generates an outreach that references their specific recent code commits, proposing an architectural optimization based on your own skills. You bypass the HR volume collapse completely by proving your cognitive dominance directly to the technical decision makers. You force the algorithms to recognize your absolute utility. Phase 7. The Sovereign Autonomous Pivot Execution Protocol. We have diagnosed the failure of manual submission, exposed the hidden market, revealed the 3 live autonomous prompts, and mapped the regional arbitrage. The final phase is your immediate execution blueprint. How do you physically launch this system without getting overwhelmed by the technical complexity? You must deploy the Sovereign Automation Protocol. Step 1. Construct the local data lake before you can unleash an AI agent. You must exactly know who you are. You cannot rely on generic resume. Create a local vector database or a highly structured markdown file containing every granular detail of your professional existence. Your code repositories, your sanitized financial impact metrics, your architectural diagrams, and your specific domain constraint. This becomes the ground truth that your evaluator agent uses to calculate your fit score. Step 2. Deploy the orchestration layer. You do not need to build this from scratch. Leverage the 2026 open source ecosystem. Install a multi-agent framework like CrewAI or LangGraph on your local machine. Set up 3 distinct roles: the scrapper, the evaluator, and the drafter. Assign them their specific tools. Give the scrapper access to Amplify or a headless browser, and give the drafter access to a high reasoning LLM like Claude, Sonnet, or GPT-4. Step 3. Define the safety guardrails. An autonomous agent must be controlled. Set a hard token budget and strict iteration limits so the agent does not run infinitely and consume your API credit. Establish a human-in-the-loop gateway for the final step. Agents find the job and drafts the email, but it must pause and require your biological approval, a simple yes and no keystroke before it actually transmits the payload to the C-suite executive. Step 4. Execute and refine. Launch the pipeline. Let it run while you focus on deep, unautomatable biological work, learning new skills, building physical network, or optimizing your health. Reviews the agent output at the end of the day. If the fit scores are inaccurate, tweak the prompt instruction. You are no longer a job seeker, you are the system administrator of your own career. Phase 8. The architect of a market dominance. Look closely at the browser tabs you have opened right now. Look at the generic job boards, the endless scrolling, and the desperate hope that a human recruiter will pluck your standard PDF out of a stack of thousands. You are engaging in a fundamentally unnatural, biological, exhausting act. You are competing against the machine using a manual, industrial-era tactic. The 2026 automated economy does not care about your work ethic if it is pointed in a wrong direction. The market respects leverage. It respects velocity. It respects operator who refuse to wait in the line. Stop applying manually. It is a professional suicide. Reclaim your cognitive bandwidth. Deploy the multi-agent architecture. Execute the deep web scrape. Calculate your mathematical fit and dispatch highly targeted structural solution directly to the decision makers. Treat your career like a high-frequency trading. Hijack the hidden market, bypass the algorithm, and force the global economy to pay you an absolute uncapped premium for your undeniable technical sovereignty. Process the data, execute the strategy, and I will see you